What up? It's Benjamin D'Souza here. Early morning vid. Excuse me. I wanted to just speak on a couple things that I heard in BGS's latest hangout. I think it's the August the 11th hangout. And first I want to address a couple things that, a couple of discussion points that was going back and forth between Enigma and I believe Cerulean and Angry Man. Now, just to give you some cultural context, I come from both sides of my family are from two different cultures, right? My mother's side is from North American mainland, and my father's side is from the Caribbean, and they operate totally differently. Even though they do have some similarities on certain aspects, they operate differently. On my mother's side, when it comes to quote unquote fuck ups, everybody rallies around the fuck up and uplifts the fuck up and provides a support system for said fuck up. Contrast that against my father's side. If you're a fuck up, they'll let you know that you're a fuck up, and they'll say, hey, you gotta get your shit straight. You got yourself into this. It's like ain't no blind sixes on my pop side. You see your way in, you see your way out. You know what I'm talking about? For all my space players out there, ain't no blind six. You see your way in, you see your way out. You know, you chose the goddamn jump in the deep end. Shit, you better doggy paddle your ass. You know? I might, if I can, the way they look at it is they say, hey, if I can, I'll throw you them little lifesaver flotation device, but I ain't about to jump in that water with you and have you thrashing about, then you grab hold of me and inadvertently pull my ass down with you. You know, I got a cousin on my pop side. Mainly all my, let me think. Yeah, all of my cousins on my dad's side, including myself, are college educated. They've either graduated, are in college, or getting advanced degrees to some level, shape, form, or fashion. This particular cousin of mine, whose father is or was, well, he's retired now, but he was a professor at the most prominent university in my state. He's retired now. But here my cousin is, the son of a professor. He turns around, drops out of college, knocks up a couple of trailer park hood rats, delves into illegal drug dealing and whatnot. And I get it, you know what I'm saying? I get it, you know. Life is life. You feel me? Motherfuckers gonna make mistakes, shit. You know, sometimes, everything that glitters ain't gold, but shit, that motherfucker shining though. You know what I'm saying? And so, cuz, he stepped out there, he made a couple fuck ups, he made a couple of mistakes. But his mother and his mother's sisters, I'm related to them by marriage, not by blood, but by marriage. They told me, they said, hey man, such and such is a fuck up. He's a loser. And my mother's side of me kicked in. I'm like, nah, don't say that. But then, a day or so later, I kind of sat back and I'm like, damn, cuz is fucking up. And I spoke to cuz. He was like, yeah, man, I do this, I do that. I just, I got a thing for these slutty white bras, man, I like, cuz, man, you got to get it under control, man. But the point being is, man, look, in certain cultures, they utilize shame to keep motherfuckers in check. Now, what I didn't like, what I took, exception to, is that immediately, Cerulean and Angry Man went to just the dismissal of, well, that's a female talking point. That's what females do. Females backbiting, females are cattying, and all of this and all of that. But if you look at it, on my father's side, yeah, the men may not necessarily be participating in said shame, but they're complicit with it. You know what I'm saying? That's the female's avenue to do that shit. And guess what? The men are lockstep with that shit. You know, my uncle and my cousin, which is my cousin whom I'm speaking of, older brother, you know, they sit back and they let the aunties and they let the other female cousins go to work on this dude. So they know that it's needed. So just to dismiss Enigma's point about, hey, look, man, my cousin is fucking up and he's putting a greater burden on the entire family. Well, in other cultures, they say, shit, you gotta walk that shit down, homie. You gotta walk that mile. And as far as the Sierra thing, and BGS, he made a point. You know, he said, you know, the shit goes both ways. Because he said, I'm paraphrasing, he said back in the 80s, you know, the 92 octane chicks, they'll fuck with the D-boys. Then when the D-boys fall off, they, you know, they tiptoe their ass back across some railroad tracks to, you know, go ahead and get with a square. The point of contention that a lot of brothers here on YouTube are making about the Sierra Russell Wilson situation is not that she was fucking with Sierra, not that she was fucking with Fifth, but it's that she, you know, when she decided to finally tiptoe her ass back across them railroad tracks and get with a square like Russell, she brought a motherfucking baby back with her. She brought her baby back, baby. Let me get off that bullshit. But you get what I'm saying, though. Real shit. We know, hey, go ahead and do what you gotta do. You know, it is what it is, you know. The motherfucking sexual revolution took place. These are the conditions. This is the landscape of the dating game in which we live under. Hey, this is what it is. But goddamn it, you ain't gotta get pregnant and bring a baby into this motherfucking situation. That's what niggas is talking about. That's what we all in a tizzy for. It ain't about pussy. And the reason why brothers is coming out and speaking, you know, speaking against this shit is because these females are using this as a beacon, as a shining example, as a rally cry to continue to engage in the fuckery in which they're engaging in. So now they think it's shit, girl. Sierra got her a good man and she was a baby mama. I can do it too. Bitch, no you can't. Sierra is drop dead gorgeous. And on top of that, she's a millionaire. And on top of that, she comports herself like a lady. She's congenial. She's demure. She's all that. And a bag of chips. Bitch, you a 5 with 2 snot-nosed crump snatchers. You live in Section 8 housing and you collecting food stamps. You do hair, sell weed, and sell your food stamps out the same roach-infested apartment. Bitch, you can't do that shit. And that's what niggas is saying, man. That's what the brothers is saying. We speaking out against that because we like, you're not gonna use this as a rally cry. Don't come to me with that bullshit because, you know, you got delusions of grandeur in your motherfucking mind that you think that you can do this shit. No, you can't pull that shit off on me. Hell no. You know? Now, I'm not knocking brothers who date, marry, and settle down with a single mother, you know, and if you want to be a stepdad, that's your prerogative. That's your prerogative. All right, go ahead and do that. But what I'm saying is these females are using this to normalize the shit. It's not going to, you know, if they make this shit the norm and they get everybody to play along with this shit, the out of wedlock birth rate is not gonna go down. It's gonna keep climbing. And we know, based on the studies and this, that, and the third, that out of wedlock birth rate is destroying these children. It is destroying our quote unquote community, if you will. So when you normalize this shit and it's just the norm, it's just gonna be normal to be fucked up. And I think SWP said it best. He said, given the condition of our people overall, you got to be exceptional to overcome those odds. But on average, everybody's not exceptional. Everybody's not exceptional. Everybody, the majority of people are average. It's like the bell curve. You got the low end of the bell curve and you got the high end of the bell curve. And then you got the median, the average in the bell curve. Which percent of that bell curve is the largest? It's the median. It's the median. So not everybody is going to be able to overcome those odds and be it. Not everybody's going to be able to be exceptional and overcome those odds. And another thing that Cerulean and Angry Man kept saying is, well, nobody wants to address the source of these problems, white supremacy, nigga, what you gonna do about it? What do you suggest we do about, quote unquote, addressing white supremacy? Are you talking about an armed revolt? What are you talking about? Because I tell you how I address white supremacy. I comport myself in a civil manner every day. I get up, put my pants legs on, put my pants on one leg at a time, lace my boots, and hit this gridiron. So I can get myself in a financial better situation, so that my children can live good lives, so they don't have to grow up struggling in the projects because their father got locked up because he sold some dope to a narc. When you come with talking points like that, you're just trying to shirk responsibility. Now, I know that's a dirty word because motherfuckers say, "Oh, you sound like a conservative. All this personal responsibility." You sound like, man, fuck that. Responsibility isn't a conservative word. Nigga, responsibility reigns on the just and the unjust alike. Shit, when that cloud of responsibility comes overhead and it starts raining, everybody get wet. Shit. And if you a dope dealer, you're gonna have to take responsibility. Shit, if you selling dope on consignment, shit, if your plug front you a quarter key or something, shit, it's your responsibility to goddamn hit that ass, get that shit off, and give your plug his cut. That's your responsibility. If you don't come through on those responsibilities, what's gonna happen? He gonna send them wolves out to come collect. He gonna send them thumb breakers. So just like an everyday So just like an everyday Joe, this working at a blue collar job, it's his responsibility to get to work on time, do his job to the best of his ability, and provide the best services and skills that he can. It's his responsibility to do that. If you a dope dealer, hey, it's your responsibility to make sure that you pay your plug. So it's the same thing. So you can't sit up here and talk about, shirking this responsibility talking points. That's bullshit, man. And men and women alike who are irresponsible with their sex organs, bringing illegitimate children into the world, should be held responsible. And there should be a level of shame in the community. There should be. Because I tell you this, I've told this story time and time again on these vids, man. I got a cousin. I'll say it again. I got a cousin. This was several years ago. His first wife, married, he was like in his going into his latter 20s. Married this chick in her early to mid 30s. This chick had 2 kids by 2 different men, and she had tied her tubes. My cousin didn't have any children. Now, old girl was causing a lot of smoke and derision amongst the family. So, I was talking to my mom. My mom was relaying this shit to me. And this is sentiments that my mom said. My mom said, man, this chick got 2 kids by 2 different men, and such don't have any kids. What does she have to bring to the table for him? What can she do for him? See, these women know. They know. So I'm like, oh, mom just had a Freudian slip right there. You know what I'm saying? She just spilled the beans right there. These women know. They know good and goddamn well. If they come into they come into a man with somebody else's children in armed, that is a knock against them. And what we seeing now is that these bitches is trying to play poker and shit. They trying to bluff their way to win the pot. But shit, I'm calling these bitches saying, bitch, I call. What you got? No, I ain't throwing shit in. I ain't folding either. I match that. Matter of fact, I'll see your 1,000 and I'll raise you another 1,000. What's happening? Got me fucked up. I ain't going. But yeah, though. They know what's up. And there should be a level of shame. Because if it's not, this shit's just gonna go unchecked. And if it goes unchecked, I'm gonna tell you what you're gonna get. You're gonna get a bunch of loud, brash, brutish, fucking small ponytail having head looking like a dirty tennis ball and shit, wearing a pair of sweatpants and some flip-flops with about 3 different crumb snatchers nipping at her heels and shit, up in goddamn Dollar General on her cell phone, on her Obama phone, arguing with one of her baby daddies. That's what you get when this shit goes unchecked. Now, had that same chick been living in a community where this shame of being sexually irresponsible was looked down upon, shit, after the first time, she'd have got that work and she'd have learned her lesson. You know, she'd have touched that stove, got burnt, and said, you know what, I'm not gonna touch that stove no more. not gonna touch that stove no more. Now, as the men shit, we feel the shit off tops. We feel it off tops. You get that court summons to go down to that family court, and you see how the prosecutor and the judge, all the way down to the court stenographer, the little bitch that's goddamn typing on the tiny typewriter and shit. They all lock, stock, and barrel, and they got all they goddamn shoulder plasma phasers aimed at you. You walk up in that motherfucker, you see the predator, goddamn triangle red dots. You see like a dozen of them on you. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, you'll learn real quick. So shit, hey, the repercussions, they are felt. They are felt on the men. Men feel that shit. But the women, nah. They go out there, you know, irresponsible with their shit, get knocked up, turn around, get knocked up again by some other nigga. Guess what? They got a whole family of aunties, uncles, cousins. Oh girl, don't worry about it, I'll babysit. Oh, you need formula? I'll float you. Oh girl, hold on, I got some extra food stamps. I'll get you some groceries. Oh yeah, plus child support, plus WIC, plus SNAP, plus Section 8. Like, come on, man. Plus preferential hiring practices where they mark off double negatives for a minority. I mean, not double negatives. They mark off checks for a double minority. Fuck you talking about? You goddamn right. These bitches should be held to a high standard. Shit, we need to enact some level of shame, and that's why we coming down on these women so hard, because they should be the ones that are the mouthpieces for this shaming campaign against other women. It should be the women checking other women. Like I said earlier, if you know, to do a cultural analysis on my pop side of the family, it's not the men that are berating the men. Now, granted, you know, my cousin might sit my cousin down and say, hey bro, you fucking up. And this little bro be like, yeah man, I know I'm fucking up. And he gonna leave it, he gonna let it alone. You know, I spoke to cuz about this not too long ago. He said, you know what, I just let it go. I done already told him what it is. I told him what the score is. You know, he know what the score is. He know what quarter this is, and he know how many minutes is left on the clock. He already know. So I ain't gonna say shit about it. But his sisters, his female cousins, and his aunties and his mother, they remind him every day. He can't come around them without him, you know, feeling some shame about what he's doing, about what he's done in his shit. So it's the females who are the enforcers, if you will, of morality as it pertains to this situation, as it pertains to, you know, being a fuck up. So, you know, in a sense, yeah, I agree with y'all when y'all say those are female talking points. Because guess what? That's a female job. And guess what? These bitches ain't on their job. They done fell asleep at the post. And now, goddamn, our city's being overrun by goddamn barbaric marauders and shit. So now, not only do we have to be the protectors and the providers, now we have to enforce morality. Now we gotta wear an extra hat. Like, come on, man. the shit gotta, and you know, it's gonna get ugly. This shit is gonna get ugly. I say this shit all the time. The founders effect and the bottleneck effect. We got them both at play right now. Shit. Oh yeah. Another thing. What does Cerulean say? He tried to use a metaphor. Tried to use the 300 as a metaphor, but he slipped up. He said, didn't Leonidas go hard on Ephistopheles, whatever that hunchback, a Notre Dame looking motherfucker was? And I was like, yeah, you exactly right. What did he do? When he said, I hope that you live forever, what was that? Shame. He shamed him because the hunchback was a traitor. The hunchback was a traitor. He traded, you know, he turned against the gang. You feel me? He turned against the mob. So Leonidas let him know, hey, how y'all said you off code. He shamed him. So you just proved right there that shame needs to be implemented. All this talking in third person shit, man. Let me stop. But yeah, though, this is Benjamin D'Souza, the Yaochuan Emperor. Like, share, and subscribe.